Hello, Otafest podcast listeners. Welcome back to the title of the show that I just introduced ourselves at. I'm Jay, and with me I have the Angelo and the Nancy.
Hi.
I'm the Angelo.
I am the Nancy, in fact.
It's a title, not a name. Get it right.
Right?
Angelo of the Angelo. Angelo Vander Angelo.
We actually had a big discussion about this last night, about what last names mean and everything.
Oh.
And so I was like, yeah, my last name means from the creek.
Of the creek. Angelo from the creek.
Yeah, from the creek.
He emerged from the creek.
So whoever my ancestor in Belgium was, like 400 years ago, they were like, yeah, that asshole from over on the creek over there.
How could you dox your ancestor from the creek in Belgium? How could you do that?
From 400 years
well,
ago.
we don't know who he was. We just know roughly where they were. They were by
the creek.
Unlike one of my Italian ancestors, they were a vain bitch. When they got buried inside of their church, she put her name and family crest right on the fucking floor.
Wow. Damn.
That's just like the old equivalent of like the Hollywood
Walk of Fame,
right?
Exactly.
Except hopefully in better
Same.
shape than the Walk of Fame, because I just saw it and it wasn't doing so hot.
I mean,
Oh, I've never seen it.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it personally, but my dad went there and he took a picture and it looked like it was 500 years old, which it was. So
Neat.
It's older than your ancestor. You said your ancestor was 400 years ago.
well, that was the Belgian guy.
Ah.
This is the Italian lady.
Oh, I see. Don't get them
Yeah.
mixed up.
I don't know if I've ever looked into the etymology of my last name. Now I'm going to want to go and look. Thanks.
It means that you can look in two different places at the same time.
Very true.
All right. We have no news and announcements. That is the news and announcements. Moving on. It is the October 30th.
It is.
A day notorious for being All Hallows Eve.
It's the night where the veil between the worlds is thinnest.
No, it's Devil's Night. I don't think that I've never heard people call it Devil's Night out here in Calgary.
No, that's not a thing here.
I've never heard that term
I
until
think
tonight.
that's more of a East Coast America and like Southern Ontario thing. But Devil's Night,
I think you're right.
I was just going to make like a New Jersey Devils hockey joke, but, you know, we're not a sports podcast, so
We're not.
yeah.
went
We're
nowhere.
very not.
Devil's Night was the night that you had to bring all of your pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns inside. Because if you left them outside, people would smash them.
Oh, I was thinking that raccoons would eat them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, it was the pranking night. It was the night where you went
Oh.
and did like evil shenanigans.
To get the devil out of you, right?
I don't know why. I never even participated in it either because I love jack-o'-lantern. I was like seeing them everywhere. I was like, hell yeah, more of this. Why are we only doing this in October?
Fair enough.
Because that's when pumpkins are actually around?
Bullshit.
Okay.
I'm sure that we could get greenhouse conditions set up to have a year-round pumpkin and jack-o'-lantern supply.
That would be not the worst thing.
I mean, I can get pumpkin tempura all times of the year, so
I know. I was just thinking that. Pumpkin tempura is amazing.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. To roll it back a few episodes, Dio and I have been going on our okonomiyaki adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And on one of these trips, we'd been looking for tenkatsu, which is pre-made, pre-fried tempura batter, like the tempura bits. And we weren't able to find them a little while ago, so we bought a big bag of tempura batter premix. But then Dio went to Amart again, like same place, and actually found the tenkatsu. And so it's like, well, we have this giant bag of tempura batter mix. What are we going to do with it? And I mean, why wouldn't we just make tempura pumpkin? That sounds fantastic.
Correct.
sounds like a good time.
That was the correct response to that. It's like, oh no, we have all of this deep frying batter. Let's deep fry some stuff.
going to do?
Oh no. But also just go deep fry a lot of things.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to that very famous tempura place next month. It's going to be great.
Oh, that's right. You and Sean are going back to Japan.
We are returning for the I guess third return for me. It's not my inaugural, and it's definitely my fourth time going. So, oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. I'm gonna
happy
eat so
for
much
you.
food.
Yeah, excited for you, but also jealous to be your taste buds.
I hope my taste buds recover from that nuclear hot soup I had last week.
Oh no.
The lovely place that provides us with lunches downstairs at my office, they started making soup because it's soup weather. And they had this really lovely chickpea soup, and it was really, really, really good. But he warned me when he gave it to me, be careful, it's hot. And I was like, oh yeah, it's hot soup, sure, whatever. Start eating it, like, yeah, it's hot, but I'm hungry. I'm just gonna eat through this. I regret it because I have 4 very inflamed and unhappy taste buds on my tongue right now. Still,
Oh no.
it has been days and they hurt.
Nancy, didn't you know that hot soup melts steel beams?
It's true. I should have known.
You have to blow on it a few times, maybe crush up some crackers.
Yeah, I
Put
think
that
that's
in
going to
there.
be my one piece
One
of
piece is
feedback
real.
is that you should be giving this to me like with a slice of bread. Like give it to me with a bun or something.
Exactly.
But
I'm so sorry.
it was delicious though. Like at least it was really good soup that I burnt myself on and not like really awful subpar soup.
That's fair. At least melting your tongue off was worth it. I'm glad.
Yeah. It's not too bad. Like I've had some pretty bad taste bud wounds. This one is probably on the lower end of intense. I've had ones that lasted for a couple of weeks and like they would bleed if I stuck my tongue out to look at them.
Ooh, that happens if I bite my tongue.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
No, yeah. If you injure your taste buds enough, they do bleed.
Oh, like
Yeah.
like a tongue bleeding from that.
It's bad. But it's not that bad.
I don't want
So
to.
it's okay.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
not that
biting
bad.
your tongue really hard, do not recommend. Even a light bite is not very comfy.
No.
Yeah, make sure your tongue is out of the way when you're about to crunch
Chomp.
down on something hard.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Please do not chomp on your tongue. You need that a lot.
Whoa. So tomorrow is Halloween. Are any of you guys doing Halloweeny kind of stuff?
I'm not, actually.
Oh my.
I am celebrating my birthday at Omakase, so I will not be doing the standard Halloween things.
Unlucky.
Oh, my case.
Or lucky.
Birthdays happen anytime. Why would you sacrifice Halloween for that?
Halloween can be celebrated
there's just
anytime
going to be
also.
another birthday next year.
And there will be another Halloween next year too.
Are you sure about that?
Yes!
Yeah, I think Halloween's rapidly dying.
Is it? No way.
I feel like. I mean, we've
Wait,
talked
do you
about
mean
it.
Halloween or the Halloween you knew as a kid?
The traditions are rapidly evolving to something that does not really resemble even the Halloween of a generation ago.
Yesteryear.
So I feel like part of that is a lot of people don't celebrate Halloween as much anymore, but I feel like age does have something to do with it. Oh my god. Dio and I last weekend, we went to a Halloween party at a friend in Edmonton's house. At a friend in Edmonton, right? And
An Edmonton and friend's house.
yes, a friend's house in Edmonton. An Edmonton in the friend's house. And good lord. All I can say, at some point in the night, we ordered pizza, and I don't remember. I don't remember going to bed. And I was being very responsible. I was having water after every single drink. I was drinking so much water that night.
Oh my gosh.
But it doesn't matter how much water you drink if you're drinking 15 strong drinks or more.
I mean, it surely helps more than nothing.
The mildly younger people, like the actual like 25-year-olds, they are keeping Halloween parties fucking rowdy.
Okay, that
It
tracks.
tracks. It's good.
That tracks. That is the age at which things like that occur.
One of the nice fun things, because they're a voice actor, they had a perfect sound isolated booth in their basement. And so what we did, we had a screaming contest
Oh my god.
where everybody at the party would go into the booth and record their best woman getting killed in a horror movie scream.
Oh, good.
It was fantastic.
Fantastic.
The unlucky part was that by the time everyone had finished recording, Everybody was far too blitzed to judge any of the screams and had mostly forgot about them until morning.
Oh. Well, that still makes for a really good time because now you can splice them all together into a really awful, like, mass murder scene.
Exactly. It was very good. It was very fun. But for actual Halloween for this coming Thursday, we're keeping it a little bit more chill, a little bit more low key. A friend has invited us over to play some board games in costume.
Lovely.
Probably gonna play
That
some
sounds
House
nice.
on the Hill or whatever it's
Hill
called.
House the game.
Betrayal?
Betrayal.
I
Hill
love
House.
Betrayal.
Betrayal on House of the Hill.
Betrayal is great. It is an appropriate Halloween game.
It's a very appropriate Halloween game.
And it's very traitory,
Yeah.
mostly.
Well, it can be.
Mostly.
My favorite games of that board game have always been when the house itself is the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And so it's just completely cooperative.
My favorite is also when those sorts of situations come up. But for the most part, I think the scenarios are traitory. There's always one or more people who turn on the other players.
Yeah. There's also another game that they have, and I can't remember what it's called. But it's very kind of spooky, Halloween-y sort of vibes, where the premise is that somebody was murdered, and all of the players are supposed to be psychics who interpret cards from the ghost to lead them to the murder scenario.
Ah, yes. I know that game. We also have that game.
You do? It's fun.
Yes.
It's really
it's
good.
fun because I think it's Mysterium.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so like there's a murder mystery. It's kind of murder mystery. So it's like one person gets a description of how they died, and then you need to somehow use images to tell a story and give hints to all the other players.
Exactly.
Something like that. Yeah, it's fun.
It's very fun. It's really interesting, and because like there's a little bit of that card draw luck mixed with a little bit of creativity, it's almost like scratching the itch that Cards Against Humanity gives you, but without destroying friendships.
Yeah, or being unnecessarily lewd.
That's the best part.
Yeah. Like it's the same skills but with a different vibe.
All right, note to self, Jay prefers the unnecessarily lewd games.
No, not the loot part. I just want to destroy friendships.
Oh.
My favorite games are Monopoly and Risk.
Oh my gosh.
Together.
Oh my gosh. No. I love that for you. I'm going to be doing something similar, but just not on Halloween. We're going to have something semi-spoopy and board gamey related this coming weekend. And sorry, I was like, I have a mental calendar and I was making sure all my dates actually lined up. So this weekend, we're going to have some friends over and we're going to play Arkham Horror, which is
Ooh.
spoopy. Like, it still involves opening portals to alternate dimensions and inviting hellish eldritch horrors in and trying to keep them from destroying everything in all of reality. And then I think there might be, depending on how that game goes for all of our collective sanity stats, we might just fall back to a nice, cozy game of Tang Garden because we just got the expansion of Tang Garden, and now all of the game pieces are upgraded, and I can't wait.
Oh, you've told me about that. That's the gardening board game where you build a Zen garden.
Yeah, you are an imperial architect, and your job is to build out the imperial gardens for the emperor and all the people within the palace.
Yeah.
And we just got all these insanely upgraded pieces, and they're so nice. So Angelo will understand when I say this, but there's always a difference between using cardboard coins and like actual bronze coins.
Oh, it's so cool.
We got coin upgrades. They're so nice. They're so hefty.
Very nice.
It's so neat.
It's going to be like a really nice tactile experience as we teach some friends how to play the gardening game. And if that falls through, there's always Takedo.
Yeah. Like
Just
I
out
have
vacation each other.
Takedo is really fun, and I first played
is.
it with Nancy and Sean. Mm-hmm. But over the summer, we had a chance to play it at a friend's house in Denver. And while their kit was very nice, it was very involved. It did have the little statuettes and stuff. The coins were like the cardboard cutouts and such.
Yeah.
And I mean, the game is still cool. The game is still great. It's fun. but the physicality of like metal coins is so neat that I feel like if I were playing that, if I had that game and I didn't have like the original or the special Kickstarter backer coins, I would replace all the coins in it with like Japanese 5 yen coins or whatever.
Yeah, the 5 yens, because they've got the little hole too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That
they
makes
were
sense.
nice.
That's actually, I wonder how many games you could do that with, where you replace the in-game tokenry with real life tokenry, and it makes for a better or still cohesive experience.
I strongly believe that if you replace all of the money in Monopoly
I
with
was
like
just thinking that.
Zimbabwean dollars or
I
Jamaican
was just
dollars or
thinking that.
something, it would be so cool.
It would be fun.
Sounds like
Or like,
it'd be worth trying.
The hard part would be getting the foreign money to begin with.
well, okay, so a while ago, many a whiles ago, I went to an auction and they were selling off like Mexican pesos, but they were the old printings of them. So they weren't really worth
Oh.
anything. Like you could just buy like this big stack of Mexican pesos for like, 5 actual dollars, but they were all out of print currency. So it's not legal tender anymore. It's not accepted by anybody. You couldn't even return it to the government even if you wanted to. So you could do that. You could go to an auction house and you could just buy like old leftover currencies that are no longer legal tender, and you can do that with it.
Oh, that's interesting. Because if I remember correctly, a year or two ago, India discontinued a few of its higher denomination bills.
Oh.
So maybe those are now worthless. Although, to my understanding, the way that they did it is that to get the money out of them for like a 2-year period, you had to bring them to a bank.
Yeah. And we did that too when we
Interesting.
got rid of our, $2 bills. You had to like bring them to a bank.
$2 bills are still legal tender.
Are they?
Yeah.
It's just that, to my understanding, there is a limited amount still printed.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of the penny. We could bring our pennies
pennies.
in. We could bring our
Yes.
pennies in. That's what it was.
But pennies are still legal tender as well. They're just again discontinued from the mint.
Exactly.
Yeah, but chances of someone being able to give you correct change if you gave pennies might be a bit spotty.
Well, that's just the thing. If you walked into a store and tried to pay for something with a $2 bill, most people would look at you like you're a freak and say no.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, if you tried to go into a store and pay for something entirely in pennies, they have the right to tell you to F off.
They also do that.
Oh, I haven't done the pay for everything in pennies thing, but I remember this one time I was, I don't know, maybe like 12 or 13 years old, and I went to this little like Chinese kind of like a grocery store, but they mostly specialize in selling like frozen dumplings and wontons and stuff like that. And I went to the store going like, I want to buy, I can't remember what it was that I ended up getting. It was probably like a pack of dumplings or something. And I happened to have a 50-cent piece on me.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Those are rare.
I don't remember how I got it.
Those
but,
are rare.
we do have 50-cent pieces, but I think they might also be in the penny category.
they're still
Nowadays,
printed. They are still minted
Oh.
in very,
Oh, yeah.
very limited numbers. And you basically have to ask for them from the mint to get them.
But anyway, I paid with the 50-cent coin, like including the 50-cent coin, except the shop owner like picked up the coin and was like looking at it and was like, is this fake? I'm like, first of all, like I'm a kid, but I wasn't that young, so I was like not really intimidated by that. But I was also like, why would I fake that coin?
Yeah.
Like,
Why would I fake 50 whole cents?
like, shouldn't I fake like the $10 bill?
Yeah, or the 20.
I'm trying to get out of 50 cents.
Exactly.
That's fair.
But no, 50-cent coins are neat. It is just
They're very rare.
very rare.
Truly.
Like we're in sort of a period now where like you couldn't accidentally find a 50-cent piece
No.
in a couch. Whereas I'm sure you could still find like random pennies if you just like happened to overturn your whole couch and be like, oh yeah, there's some pennies in here. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do not recall how I had one, but I've had a few in my lifetime, but they were all before I was 20, for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen a 50-cent piece or like possessed one.
Now, all those sort of currencies are well and good. But did you know what the ultimate currency is?
What?
Scream bucks.
Oh,
Or whatever Screamfest calls their currency. Because for 24 Scream bucks, you too can ride a monster truck.
wait, actually?
Actually. But I will tell you that I was at Screamfest, and it was very cool.
Huh, okay.
One of our friends, the same one who is organizing the board games night, got everybody in on going to Screamfest.
Damn.
And by everybody, I mean a group of 4 people. Other people had work.
Everybody. I was like,
Everybody. I'm like, me? Hello?
where's our invite?
A lot of other people had work or other things getting in their way.
Obligations.
So Dio and I and Jolene and Kai, we went to Screamfest, and because we were just like, well, we don't want to spend all night standing in lines. Let's get the speed pass. The speed pass,
The speed
Okay.
pass.
which turned out to be a really good idea. For most of the haunted houses, the lines were like manageable, but the 2 best haunted houses, the lines looked like they were an hour long. I have no idea.
Oof.
Whereas the speed pass, you got like a second line, and you're basically waiting 5 minutes at most. At
Damn,
most.
that's nice.
But one thing that it came with, the speed pass, because it was like $20 or $30 more than the regular pass, they also gave you 16 Scream bucks to work with to begin with. And those can be used for a couple different things at Screamfest. You can use them for like arcade games. There was like this zombie attraction that was all 16 of your Scream bucks. But we were like, let's not spend them yet. Let's see what's going on. And between a haunted house and a mini donut stand, there was a sign saying Monster Truck Rides, 24 Scream bucks. And we looked at it. We watched the monster truck do donuts across the corral.
Wow.
Cool.
And it looked really cool. It was pretty
Well,
fun. But I was looking
yeah.
at it and I was thinking, that doesn't look like it's as fast as a monster truck can go. It, from an outside perspective, it looked like it was going maybe 40 kilometers an hour. Maybe,
That's a reasonable
maybe
speed.
as much as 50.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, even in a regular car, even in like a well-modified, speedy little vehicle, you don't do donuts at Mach speed. You
Exactly.
just do donuts at like 15 kilometers an hour.
Exactly. And when you're in the relatively tiny corral made for horses and chuck wagons as opposed to massive absolute monster units of a truck, the speed that it was going was pretty respectable. And so we got an extra 8 Scream bucks each. We loaded in to the bed of this truck. We sat right at the very end because we wanted to get thrown around by these donuts. We wanted to feel every little bit of momentum that it could give us.
Oh.
Good fucking God, did it deliver.
Oh dear.
Holy shit. I was like, yeah, I'm buckling myself in. I'm tightening up the buckle. I was getting tossed around so hard that I had to tighten up the seatbelt like 2 more times
You were
mid-ride.
like, please, Jesus.
I was holding onto the railings, and the railings themselves were a little bit loose from obviously other people like holding on.
Terrifying. Actually terrifying.
So even if it felt like speeds that I could hit on my bike going down a hill, it was more than fast enough. It felt fast. When you're in the back of a truck doing donuts like that, it feels like you're going 100 kilometers an hour. God damn.
I would say there's 2 things. First of all, to the whole handrail thing, I do kind of miss I'm not saying I want things to be unsafe. I just want a slightly sketchier safety code because it does like induce the fear of God. Because do you remember when we were young, there used to be those mall parking lot
Hay rides?
Carnivals?
Yeah. I don't know if, well, I guess,
Okay.
I don't know if they happen out east for Angelo, but we used to have them in, I think, Market Mall and South Center Mall.
Okay, so like when I was growing up, the neighborhood I was in, we had a Zellers and they had like a really, really big parking lot. And 100%
Yeah.
every year, probably near the end of the school year, like so in May and
Yeah.
June, they would set up like I want to say like 10 rides, 5 to 10 rides.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
would just
It's like
take
a
up.
mini stampede.
Yeah, it was like a mini carnival without all of the, completeness of a carnival. Like they had a
Yeah.
popcorn
There's no like
stand, they had a
midway games. There's no big food.
but they had rides.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like you would get on and there'd be like the swings on the really long swings and they would spin around or there'd be like a Ferris wheel and yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Everything was just
a little bit ricketier.
slightly sketchy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And you're like, not only are you a child where your understanding of engineering is less, but also you have eyes.
You
You
have
have eyes at any age.
You have eyes.
You can see that screw thread is holding on for its dear life as you are.
My perspective on that would be a few different events. There would be the annual circus that would have come to Devonshire Mall in Windsor. That would come every year until the city outlawed exotic animals.
Oh, they had animals?
Oh, yeah, they had animals. They had like elephants. You could ride the elephants. Lions and things of that nature.
I'm glad that animal circuses, are going the way of extinction themselves.
Yes. When you're young, it is very cool. It is very interesting, and these are like the first time you're seeing these creatures ever outside of a zoo, maybe, or even considering zoos. It might be the first time you'd ever seen them.
True, true.
But it's not good for the animals. So, as fond of the memories that I have for these circuses are, it's better that they're going away.
Yeah.
But those would also have rides, and that was just in the parking lot of a mall. And then the other things would be things like the Freedom Fest in Windsor, where I would say take the midway in the Stampede, plop it on the riverfront in Windsor. That's what you got.
Okay.
Exact same thing. That was fantastic. And then the Strawberry Fest in LaSalle was very similar, a little bit toned down. But whereas one was in like a mall parking lot, the circus was in a mall parking lot, one was on a riverfront park, and then the third one was just this barren field.
Nice.
But yes, I know exactly the vibe you guys are talking about, and it is really good.
Going back to like, it feels like you're going 100 kilometers on the back of that monster truck doing donuts. Perspective is definitely a thing because
Oh, yeah.
I've ridden motorbikes, and I will say I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not daredevil enough, but riding a motorbike at speed limit on any given like large road is a great time.
Yes.
I do not need to go and push it to 140, 180, completely unnecessary. It's super fun as is, just riding down Crowchild on a nice day at, I think Crowchild's like 80.
It
It's a good time.
goes between 60 to 80, depending on the area.
Yeah.
But yes,
Like, but I mean, when you're in a car and you're driving 80 on Crowchild, you're like,
This is good.
I mean,
yeah, this is all right.
yeah, it'll get me there. But you're like, on a motorbike, you're like,
Yeah.
just have bad tires, and then 60 on Crowchild in certain weather is very exhilarating.
Oh, no.
yes.
No. This is a reminder to all of our listeners, winter tires are important in Calgary.
And winter tires don't count if they have no tread.
Yeah. So, as someone who just replaced their tires for 2 sets of vehicles, I am surprised at how long it took for my quads and like all my leg muscles to feel normal again. That was a workout.
Ooh, I believe it.
It was a workout, and like we were going at a good pace too. So, I think the next car I get, I'm gonna keep it a small car just because I want to have tires I can still carry.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. I don't want a bigger car because that means that I can't lift those tires. I can't lift those rims.
Small cars are fantastic. You need to join the K truck crew.
Thank you. I was
Get
just
yourself a
about
K truck.
Little K
Have
cars.
little tiny little K truck
the
tires.
Otafest podcast crew.
Yes. The Otapod Ks.
The Otafest podcast crew should just be all K truck owners.
K cars. That'd be great. Little K cars. I love K cars. They're so fun.
You would look so cute driving a Honda Beat. I think that would be fantastic.
You going beep beep.
It's adorable.
Or like what brand is? I think it's Mazda or Mitsubishi with the AutoZam. Like some of those K car sports cars are the weirdest, most hilarious looking things ever, and they're wonderful.
They're fantastic. I can't wait.
If I wasn't literally too tall for Honda Beat, I would get one.
I can't wait to be amongst all the K cars again.
Yeah.
Gonna be a good time.
And then we can do the what's that thing where you slap like the anime wraps on them?
Oh, Itasha.
Itasha?
Itasha.
Yeah.
We can Itasha our K collection.
Our K collection will be so amazing.
I totally would. I kind of want, what I want to do is I want to get a K truck. I want to put a base coat of teal paint on it. I want to put either like pink or purple bed liner in the bed. And then I want to get like Sakura decals for the side, almost to the point where it looks like a can of Arizona iced tea.
Oh, wow. That's an image. The
Yeah.
Arizona iced tea K car.
That is
That's kind of amazing.
Not a phrase I thought I was gonna hear today.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. And it'd be adorable as all heck.
It would be so cool. I don't know how I would ever get the money to do that, but I would want it.
I'm sure you could.
Once I would get the K truck, it would be like my life is an existence that funnels dollars into truck decoration.
Basically, that's all you would do.
True.
But I mean, it would work.
It would work.
It would work, and you would get such an aesthetic out of that. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
And just imagining you in your summer gear, just like popping out of that little K truck. You know, K truck rolls up and it looks like an Arizona iced tea, and then Angelo just like gets up and out of it. You're like, ah, that's an image.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Now I want like a video game that is like a combination between Wreckfest and Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Like a racing game but it's all K vehicles only, and you get to customize the visuals of your vehicle and maybe some of the stats. That would be super fun.
Amazing. That would be fun.
Make the stats tied to how cool the car is.
Coolness
Like-
is
Like engine,
subjective.
braking, transmission. You can't see that.
That's not true.
What you can do is you can hear how cool it sounds. You can look at what the decals are. Anime girl on the side has to be worth like at least 5 horsepower, right?
Just like the bullet holes.
There are car mods where you can see the engine. There's hoods with transparent windows and stuff like that.
I mean, if you're judging based on just aesthetic, I think it'd be fine, valid. It'd be a good time.
Either way,
It'd be a good time.
K Car Crew, please. And then we'll start a new podcast.
I guess we're changing the name of the podcast.
We're just changing the name? No, we gotta do a whole thing.
We got to do a whole thing. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
then.
Wow. But enough about K cars because they're not spooky enough. They are not Halloween cars.
They're too cute.
What are your favorite Halloween movies?
Man, a lot of my Halloween movies that I love are from like deep, deep childhood. Like I remember watching The Witches of Eastwick
Oh,
on TV.
I've never
and
heard of
like, what was that other one? The one with Nicole Kidman in it. Practical Magic.
oh, fair.
That one was kind of cursed because there are definitely dead bodies involved in that one. What else?
My favorite Halloween movies, some of them gotta be obviously Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus. That was another one.
Like that one feels really, really close to my heart. But there is one animated Halloween movie that I don't hear that much about. And I'm pretty sure it was like a Disney Channel original.
Oh.
But The Halloween Tree.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of it?
I'm sure I've seen it because that's usually how my memory works. I'll see something and it'll tickle the brainstem, but the names I wouldn't know.
So the premise is this group of friends are getting ready for Halloween, right?
Okay.
They're getting ready for Halloween, but one of their friends, the friend that always loved Halloween the most, was sick. Okay.
Was
So
sick
whatever.
Or was like sick.
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 Like ill.
Very sick. So they start doing their thing, but they can't stop talking about their friend, being like, man, he would have loved this Halloween. Where the hell is he? Until they're like, wait a minute. There he is. He's dressed up as a ghost.
Ah.
Oh,
And he
God.
goes into
I
this
see where
haunted
this is
mansion.
going.
And they all follow him. And then inside the haunted mansion, they find this creepy old bald yellow guy with a long ass nose. I can't remember what his name is. But he is guarding the Halloween tree, which is this giant tree with a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns on it. And this movie fooled me into thinking that pumpkins grew on trees. They don't.
Oh, they do not. That's true.
That's hilarious.
But then throughout the movie, they're chasing, Pipkin was his name. They're
Pipkin.
chasing his ghost literally across the world, seeing like how different cultures honor their dead or do Halloween-like festivities and things like that.
Neat.
And it's just super cool. Fun fact, their friend was dead.
Yeah.
That was actually his
That
ghost.
was actually his ghost. That's what I thought.
Angelo, I was gonna watch that.
Totally what I thought would happen.
Ruined it. It's completely spoiled.
Oh, but now you know why it's spoopy.
It was a fantastic movie. And it wasn't Disney, apparently. Apparently, it was from Hanna-Barbera, and it originally released on ABC in 1993.
Yeah, I kind of miss those random Hanna-Barbera features because they used to do like anywhere between like a 10 to 30 minute just like short features and they just air them whenever.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I miss those.
If you have the streaming services and you're able to find the Halloween tree, it is a fantastic watch.
I think it sounds cute.
What's the point? You've spoiled it. Spoiled it. I think the only childhood Halloween movie I really watched, and it was Disney, was Nightmare Before Christmas, which is also a Christmas movie.
Which is also
I
Christmas,
am
yeah.
just realizing now, apparently this was based on a book
Oh,
by
interesting.
Ray Bradbury, who, if I remember correctly, also wrote Fahrenheit 451.
What?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, I was like, that name is familiar, but I couldn't remember for what reason.
Fahrenheit 451, The Martian Chronicles, which I think is what the movie The Martian is based on. Damn.
I don't know. I think The Martian was its own book.
All right, maybe.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Damn, I did not realize the Halloween tree had that kind of pedigree. Goddamn.
But yeah,
Interesting.
Nightmare Before Christmas as a kid, and then Halloween movie as an adult. I'm definitely a cult classic follower of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
that's
That
true,
movie I still
yes.
need to watch.
Oh, I completely forgot. Last year we wanted to do
I know.
Rocky
We talked
Horror
about
Picture
this
Show in
literally
theaters,
last year, and now I'm like, oh, yeah, I never did do that.
And this year we completely forgot about
Next.
it.
We're bad.
Yeah. We have bad memories.
It's true.
Next time.
Ah,
Yeah, we talked about this so much last year.
we really did.
I'm so bad.
For movies that legitimately get my blood pumping, that make me a little bit spooked. 13 Ghosts, if you guys remember that one.
I don't think I do.
No.
That was the one where some family is told, "Hey, your dead uncle has left a house to you. Go check out the house." And they go check out the house, and I don't know what happens, but they activate some mechanism, and now suddenly the house starts moving, and there's glass panes with incantations inscribed in them, and the ghosts are trying to sacrifice the family so that the uncle, who wasn't actually dead, can get immortality or something. The visuals on it are fantastically spooky.
Love it. That sounds very cursed.
Yeah.
I have a very specific
came out in
vibe I like.
2001.
It sounds like that hits it.
Yeah. It was... I'm looking at pictures of it now, and it looks a lot campier than I remember it being. I remember being like absolutely scared poopless the first time that I watched this. To be fair, the first time that I watched this, I was probably like 13 at most.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could have been. It might be a lot campier than I remember, but I remember actually being terrified by this movie.
I have a very specific like line between something being spooky and something actually qualifying as horror. And I like spooky more than horror. Spooky is a
fair.
little bit more psychological. Horror is a little bit more like,
That's like the thriller genre, right? Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
like for example, Sixth Sense is a thriller, where it's not necessarily horror. Like there are
It has horror elements, but
ghosts. Yeah.
it is not
Spooky
explicitly about scaring you.
Yeah, it's not trying to like jump scare you at every turn or whatever. I like atmospheric horror more than I like, and thrillers more than I like jump scares
Yeah,
because
same.
I'm not affected by jump scares very much. So it just makes it feel cheap.
Very true.
Yeah, jump scares just feel very cheap to me.
Cheap jump scares, they don't have the payoff. Like, if you're going to jump scare, I do think that jump scares are valid, but you have to have like a little build up, a little bit of anticipation. And so by the time the jump scare actually happens, you know that something is going to happen. You're like, where's it going to happen? Is it going to happen right now? Is it going to happen a second from now? And it just keeps you guessing until the actual jump scare happens. And then, there is an art to jump scares that a lot of things just flop on, you know?
I agree.
True.
I agree. Yeah. You gonna watch any of these this week?
I don't know. I don't think so. I have a busy schedule, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make room for Halloween outside of the board games costume party that we've already got going on.
I mean, it's a Thursday Halloween. It just makes it less palatable,
It makes it difficult.
but I may still indulge. I just don't know if I'll be watching my favorites. I'll probably be watching a B grade horror of the cheesiest types. Oh, I've seen so many bad horror movies.
Ooh. If you want a really cheesy B-grade horror movie, just watch Army of Darkness. Get some Bruce Campbell in your life.
No, that is actually, compared to some of the movies I've seen, Army of Darkness is too good.
Is too good. I love that.
Yeah, by like at least a magnitude.
I mean, it is unironically a fantastic movie. It is very well made. It is just a B movie.
It's true.
Ah.
But yeah, I hope everybody has time to watch and indulge in their favorite treats and have a spooky Halloween.
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween.